from fastworkinglovespells.com, and today I want to touch on a subject that's been prevalent in my life recently. It's the things that people do and how we react to those things. Now, it's been said that your reaction to something is entirely in your control. And that is true. It's true. Because let's face it, if someone is deliberately bothering you or causing dis-ease or distress in your life, and they are visibly aware of how much uneasiness and distress they're causing, then one would believe, or one would like to think, that they would just back off and leave you alone. Because let's face it, only a monster would continue to antagonize someone who is clearly distressed. I mean, it's comparable to torture to do this to someone. So, but let's examine how we react to things. And primarily because we're looking at spell work, and sometimes you have a spell cast on your lover, your husband, your wife, because they're going in the opposite direction than which you wanted to go. And you have a spell cast, and the worker is telling you that what's your reaction to them. Don't rise to the bait. You may not get your results in one full swoop, so it'll take a process. They'll come, they'll go, they'll come, they'll go. They may go around in circles for a couple of times before you actually start seeing the positive results that you're seeking. But what happens in between that period of time? What happens in between is, how do you react? They will try to push your buttons. Now remember, the reason that we would have a love spell cast on someone before, to begin with, it's because there's problems in a relationship. And the problems did not just arise like that. It could be love rival, it could be money problems, it could be a career choice, it could be just the person is just growing bored with the other person, the person is just growing uncomfortable, the person, for whatever reason, the person is changing, and the client may not be changing fast enough, or changing in the direction that he or she wants to go in. So there's a disconnection of energy. So what a spell does, first of all, is to balance the energies out. It doesn't force anyone to do anything, it just balances the energies out. But how do you incorporate watching your reaction, or curbing your reaction to your loved one whilst the spell is still in the process of granting results? Is, don't fall for the bait of argument. Don't fall for the bait of going into bed too quickly with them. Don't fall for the bait of the easy, they come around, they get a rush of emotion, they feel a rush of love, they feel a rush of sexual energy, and they want to get, intimate, and then you just flow into the bed. If you feel like it's coming from a place of genuineness on their part, and they really do feel love, because you will pick up on that. Or if they're just looking for sex as a quick release to their emotions, then that's up to your discretion. This recording is to make sure that you balance yourself, you pace yourself, and not fall into the same trap that you fell into before that probably led up to the problems. Don't be too easy, but don't be too hard to get either. But use your discernment, use your discretion, use your mind. You will know when you're being too easy, you will know that if you're being too antagonistic at the same time. So how you react to them whilst the spell is still in the process of granting results will enable you to allow things to move much faster or slower, depends on you. Because I have had people come to me in the past, clients have come to me in the past, and they want their lover back. It could be male or female. But they're more angry with them for the fact that they messed up the relationship. So they want that person to come begging on their hands and knees. Folks, that's not going to happen. That's unrealistic. That's a myth. Let me put that abundantly clear. That's not going to happen. If you get that, then you're extremely lucky. And it might not happen in the time that they're coming back. Because some of them comes back with an attitude. This is why it's that attitude that I want you to react to in a very cool manner. Don't rise to the bait. Don't argue with them. Try not to fight with them. Try not to be too accusatory. Just try to pace yourself. Because the bottom line is you want them to be back with you. You want the love to flow. You want the passion to flow. You want the togetherness. You want the chemistry. You want the sexual energy without the fighting. So just pace yourself as to how things flow. Pace yourself. And try not to rise to the bait. Now there's another reason why I mention our reaction to people. And this goes for both ways. If you know you're out there and you're watching this recording and you're deliberately antagonizing someone to get a rise out of them, it's not a very nice thing to do. It's not human to do. It's not human. It's an actually inhumane, cruel, vindictive thing to do to people. Try not to deliberately do this just because it's serving some purpose, some enjoyment for you. It doesn't matter what it is. What you may think the reason is that it's justified on some level, it is not. It doesn't matter how much someone has hurt you. If somebody has hurt you legally, somebody has caused distress, dis-ease, discomfort, they have stolen from you, they have hurt you, they have beaten you, they have hurt your kinfolk, they have hurt your dog or your cat, then let the law get involved. Let's do this legally. What I mean to say is don't take the law into your own hands. And that goes for my client, because sometimes my clients do get very angry. Try not to take the law into your own hands, because all that will happen is that you will end up in jail for a long time, and the person will probably get off scot-free because of the way you reacted to them. That's not to say that that gives that perpetrator the leeway or the open window to keep persecuting other people. That's not allowed either. This is where the law has to become mandatory and stable. If this is happening to you, then I suggest you get in touch with law enforcement. It's sometimes hard to get them to actually look at your situation, because let's face it, it's just a handful of police officers and there's hundreds of thousands of people. And that's understandable. Though not everybody has the same situation going on, it's a madhouse for them. Let's look at it. Every police station, it's just a handful of officers. Let's say they have 100 officers. I'm only guessing, I don't know anything. And there's like 50,000 people in the city. That's a lot per ratio. It's a lot. So let's cut them some slack as well. But you need to report it every chance you get. This is the reason why a lot of people, a lot of things go unnoticed. A lot of people just keep it bottled up and they just ignore it until something happens and they just blow a gasket and they hurt someone. Try not to let us fall into that trap. And that goes doubly for my clients. Call me if you need to. If you're not getting the results you want, or he or she is not acting in the way that you want when you want, just try not to overthink things until you get your results, until you're back in a solid relationship with this person. Don't rise to their bait. Don't argue with them. If they're disrespecting you, simply say, look, I will not be spoken to this way. I will talk to you when you have changed your attitude. And let it go. That way you show them exactly that you are not going to tolerate it anymore. You're not going to be walked all over. You will not be spoken to that way. You're setting clear-cut boundaries. And trust me, even though in the moment the fear of losing them is very strong, and that fear will grip you. It will grip you and squeeze that heart chakra. Squeeze it. You will feel that palpable pulling and squeezing. You have to do what you got to do because you don't want to be walked on all over. Because if you don't stand up for yourself, there's little much I can do for you because I'm not there with the person. I can cast a spell. I can make them feel the love. I can open up the heart chakra so they can feel the love that is there, the attraction that is there. But I can't come there and live your life with them with the two of you, with them or with you. You know, I can't monitor that. You got to do your part as well. So try not to be looking. First of all, they're not going to come crawling on their hands and knees. You know, if you want that, and that's the prevalent emotion, that's the prevalent pull, then I suggest you move on. That's my advice. You just move on from them. Because what you want really is an apology. Now, you don't want a solid relationship because you're more hurt than wanting just a relationship. I suggest that you heal, maybe do a healing spell on yourself, get over this person, and move on. So, bear that in mind as one, and secondly, you know, don't try to rise to the bait. Don't take crap from them, but don't be antagonistic towards them firsthand or beforehand. And third, just don't be disrespected. Don't allow yourself to be disrespected by them. And this goes doubly for women, because a lot of women will just tolerate a man talking to her anyhow he feels like it, saying things to her that are derogatory and not becoming of a woman. I mean, it's like, don't accept these things just because you want him back. And a man can watch this too, and hopefully he learns something from this. Don't tolerate insubordination. You are not a second-class citizen. You're a woman. And without you, man, well, he wouldn't be here. Let's put it that way. That's my opinion. So this is Ravenhawk from Fast Working Love Spells. Just asking people to watch their reaction to other people, situations, external stimuli, especially my clients. And for anybody else who may be just scrolling and watch the video. I know it's hard sometimes. And this also is going for people who are deliberately antagonizing people. Let's just cut the crap and stop it. There's no reason for you to be antagonizing people. Get a job. Do something worthwhile with your time. It'll serve you better. If you need tarot readings, if you need EFT, because EFT is a wonderful stress reliever, and it just releases that resistance like nobody's business. I think it's terribly underrated, but I think that more people should be incorporating EFT in their everyday life, even if it's just for 5 minutes. And the good news about tapping is that I only need to go through a couple of sessions with you, and then you do it yourself. This is not therapy. This is something that's it's self-applied. You just got to learn the technique, which easily you can do in a couple of hours, and there you go. You never have to have somebody else to work with again unless you choose to. So this is Ravenhawk again at fastworkinglovespells.com. I'm also on Facebook at Fast Working Love Spells, or give me a call at 405-332-3968. That is 405-332-3968. Thank you. Have a good day.